that way. Not
All right, let's go ahead and clap it up. All right. All right. Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny Hunter. I'm Priest Officer 5000 Kassar Pakat. It's the Thursday night scripture breakdown class for ISUPK Northern California. We're going to go ahead and get straight into it. Any questions in the room? Any questions online? Type them in the chat. Go ahead up.
Sir. It was Revelations 22 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
I cut to Immaculate Conception.
What does it say? Is the root?
Yeah, the offspring of David.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can use that for that. How can you be the offspring of someone, the seed of David? That precept goes with that as well, that he would be the seed of David without being. It even says, what does it say? He's sitting on the throne of David. You saw that in Captain Tazariak's debate. But I saw somebody put in the chat that, yeah, these people are in a crazy cult. It's crazy what they come up with. I'm like, yeah, Christianity is a crazy cult. They're sitting there trying to make Christ the Lord, and he's consistently praying to the Lord, not trying to sit on the Lord's throne. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but we all come up from it. I grew up with the Trinity, with the same doctrine. Once you, what does it say? When I was a child, I did childish things. You know what I mean? So, you got something, Nayak? See.
Yeah, it's like a serpent. With the serpent in the CE. Who do you say that is? It's around the
And which one?
and when serpent in the CE.
That deceived Eve?
Come.
Right. What's exactly the question? You want to put a precept, or you just want to ask about it in general?
Just ask about it in general.
Okay. It's Genesis 3. 3, yeah.
Okay. 3 and 14.
Let's see. That was just talking about what the servant did, but really like 3 and 1 is where it starts.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you know from what we teach? What's your
yeah.
yeah.
You know, I just know it's the it's that spirit is in the sea.
Right.
But as far as because I know there was other people, like other pieces of the field pertaining to people, correct?
Correct.
And so it was just a random, person that just came up and deceived her. Man.
Okay, the spirit of the serpent would be the oppressor, right? Would be the so-called white man, right? But when it's talking about going amongst the other nations, the trees, those were the beasts of the field. That's where the knowledge of good and evil was learning and trying to be like the other nations, hiding ourselves. The leaves was us moving amongst those other nations, and you can find that in Ezekiel. Let me see, Ezekiel. What chapter is that? Ezekiel 38, I believe. Ezekiel 31, real quick. Yep. I'll give you 2 precepts on that. One with the beast of the field and then one with the serpent. Let's see. Go to verse 3.
This is book of Ezekiel, chapter 31, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the Assyrians was a cedar Lebanon with fair branches
Mm-hmm.
and with a shadow and shroud and high stature. His top was among the thick boughs.
Right. So it's using this analogy to talk about this nation of people, the Assyrians, and how they were and how mighty they were. And like they're like the cedars of Lebanon. If you know anything about the land of Lebanon, they're known for their trees and their cedars, just like the redwoods in Northern California. Those trees are notorious. You got ones, you got a big hole cut in, a car can drive through that tree because they have grown for so many years, and it's like no other place on planet Earth. Lebanon is known for its trees the same way when it comes to the cedar trees. And so it's perfect to use an analogy to describe how powerful this nation was and how known, how great they were, right? And so you can drop down to verse 8.
Verse 8, the cedars in the garden of God could not hide him.
Mm-hmm.
The fir tree did not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him.
So what are these chestnut trees? And what are these fir trees?
Other nations.
Exactly. Get a brother here. Right? Like it's staying on the analogy. This nation over here wasn't like him. This group of people over here couldn't do the same things that the Assyrians were doing. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 9, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him.
Right. So that's enough for that. That's where you go and how we were able to go and get the true breakdown of this understanding, where the Christian church gives you this narrative that it's just two people running around naked in a garden, ass like butthole naked, and what else? They ate some apple and some snake is talking to them. Now go to Revelation chapter 12. Because taking it for face value, this is what we all grew up understanding. It's only two kids. Now, how you'd have to deal with that complex? We're like, damn, how did the whole world get made? He had to sleep with his sister. It's just the world, you know. When you read it like Christians read this book, it really shows you what type of cult they are in. Honestly, like we're bringing this to reality. They are taking it to something else. Go ahead. Which is another way to do what? To help people not believe in the Bible. You know what I mean? But go ahead up. No, this brother right here. He had a comment or question.
Slightly, sir. I was going to ask you in the law for incest, would Adam and Eve, would they technically be part of the same family like cousins?
Right.
Not necessarily like brother and sister.
Exactly. Yeah. There were people on earth. Adam was just the one to come up from the dust and get the laws of the Lord, which gave him the breath of life. That's the breath of life, is the law, statutes, and commandments. And so he was just taken from the nations. And you see countless times through the Bible where they say, this woman is flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. You understand? And she was a relative, but not his sister, not anything unlawful, because literally what made Adam great was him knowing the law. And how do we know he knew the law? Y'all know? What's one thing that you could prove that Adam knew the law? Go ahead.
He knew what animals was clean and not clean.
Damn right. Get up out of here. Right. He separated the animals, or had 7 clean animals and 2 of the unclean. And if I'm saying that right, but he had more of certain one of the animals, so he knew clean and unclean animals. That was already in existence before Noah, before Moses. These things were already instituted. All right, let's go to Revelation 12 and let's see verse. I usually want to say verse where we at. Wilderness plus 12 and 12. So start at verse. Verse 9. Verse 9, yeah.
Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil,
Called who?
called the devil,
Read.
and Satan,
Mm-hmm.
which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Right. So this is talking about future prophecies of the last days and how the world is going to cast out that old serpent, which comes from the days of Eve. That spirit of all oppressor, who is the devil, you understand, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. This is how you know this is this nation of people. And his angels will cast out, his rulers and his leaders that are running the earth are going to lose their position. You understand? So this is one I remember when I was coming up. I'm like, how do we prove the white man is the devil? They said, go to this precept. This is one of them. You know what I mean? This is talking about a nation and rulership. When you read through Revelation 12, you clearly see it's not just talking about some mystical thing. Revelations 18, all these things, Revelations 13 and 9, or 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with a sword must be killed with a sword. This is the patience and the faith of the saints. This ain't talking about no demonic angels that are ruling the earth. It's talking about real men doing these things, that old serpent. So it was a man that had the spirit of the oppressor. It's the same spirit running in him. It's the same spirit that was running in Cain when he killed Abel. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. When I hear Christians talk and they interact with different debates and stuff like that, they'll tell you that they can't necessarily explain Revelations 13 and 10. It's like a glitch in their mind because they'll sit up there and say, well, but according to here, it does talk about some type of slaves are going to be in the kingdom of heaven, but we don't really know for sure.
Right.
And, it's like a glitch in their brain, but what we say is just, it's all out wrong. We're just making it up, and we're false prophets, and then they rebuke us in the name of Satan.
So somebody look up cognitive dissonance. Can somebody look that up on their phone real quick? And like I said, we're gonna move quickly for class. The water for y'all for coming. But yeah, that's a
this is the definition of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the psychological discomfort a person feels when they hold two or more conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes, or when their behavior contradicts their beliefs.
damn. Yeah, that's what Christians got. They get uncomfortable when they realize that these two beliefs don't add up. This living in the sky in heaven with your grandma, your auntie, Tupac, and Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin, you understand, and Jeffrey Dahmer all in the same place, or whoever the hell, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who's up there, but anybody can go, you know what I'm saying, to heaven for sure. I'm like, damn, they talk about them stories where people live evil lives and get to their deathbed. Like, unless you just died in an emergency plane or, sudden death, like, being a Christian is the best religion on earth. You know what I'm saying? You can just snort cocaine, sell dope, sleep with whoever, and I'm about to die. Jesus, forgive me. I accept you in my heart. You made it in the pearly gates. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people would be in there and everybody else looking at them like, damn, I did all that in my life. I stopped doing this, and look at this bastard. Or what if you was doing all this and had one bad day and you just like, I'm out the kingdom. And this devil made it in, and you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. They have a saying that the guy that did the Church of Satan did that. I don't know if y'all heard that. Yeah, they said Anton LaVey. You got something?
They swapped it, so they said, what's his name? Alistair Crowley.
Yep, he
They
did.
said him. He said when he died, he said, "Oh no." He couldn't believe that he was he said that he was seeing something totally different
Right.
than what he was preaching.
Damn. Who knows what what the hell they was seeing? He might have been lying on the last one too. The devil. But go ahead.
It's like, sir, yeah, my uncle, right? He's a so-called pastor, right?
Right.
So he came to, he sent me a video. Well, he was telling me about the video. It's a video of people that went to hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like,
I've heard
you know,
about
it's
this. I heard about them. Yeah, yeah.
tactic, you know what I'm saying? What happened? But he said there were several entertainers that were down there that had passed already.
Right.
But one of them stuck in my head. He said, yeah, John Lennon was down there screaming. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
out of a while, I remember John Lennon.
Right.
But he said John Lennon was down there screaming and shit like that. I'm just thinking like, this is like early, probably 2000s and shit like that.
Right.
I'm not believing this shit. I'm just listening. You know what I'm saying? But now that I know that, in Isaiah, I think, 55:8, my thoughts are not your thoughts.
Right.
Not my ways, your ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See, we think like that. We want to send somebody to hell. I hope you go to hell and
Right.
get burned for eternity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the Most High, he just gonna, hey, yo, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Just, he ain't gonna worry about you being in hell and shit.
Right. That's
You know
about
what I'm
four. He didn't curse about 4 times.
Oh,
He said in response. It's all. Don't sweat. Let you ride for a minute, but
no, that just
No sweat.
changed my mind with the Christian scare.
right.
You know,
No, yeah. That's once again, it helps them use those things to control our people. Like I said, that was a big thing for slavery to say, if you be a good slave, you can possibly go to heaven. If you're a bad slave, no matter how evil this white man is treating you, you might still go to hell. So sit here and take whatever they're doing to you. Don't do anything bad towards them. Don't even dislike them for what they're doing, because that evil thought could risk you to burning in hell for eternity, and you going to be in a place even worse than here. That's you know what I mean. The evil that they do. But yeah, let's see. So that's that. Let's go to anything else. Anybody else? What? To what? We're gonna go into tonight's topic: leadership, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let me get a couple precepts on one. We start with the good, the bad, or the ugly. I want to. Anybody see a little bit of that debate? It's been going viral this week about this sister debating these conservatives. Amanda Seal, you saw that? You see it? You saw it? I'm gonna play a quick.
oh,
Yeah. The black conservatives. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to hear it from here. Let me see. Yeah. Matter of fact, can you just put the speaker up here and I'll plug it in? I'll let y'all hear it. But yeah, this sister, she went up and did a debate. I guess it's like 20 verse 1. Amanda Seals is her name. Go ahead.
Slocky, sir, I did watch that. She was the one with the dreads, with the blonde tips, and stuff like that.
Right.
She was pretty much debating whether or not white supremacy and all that stuff. And there's a whole bunch of conservatives around her and stuff like that.
Right.
And she was trying to tell them that she pretty much destroyed all of them.
Right.
She got all of them. That's why a lot of them didn't have not a lot of them. You look at them, didn't have a lot of good rebuttals
Right.
to come up against what she was saying.
Right. Damn right. And with that, we know this sister is not in the truth. I haven't watched all of it, but from some of the clips I have seen, like you said, she was winning because she's speaking the truth and they're speaking lies. You understand? And like I said, everything she say, we're not gonna stand. I don't know what she believes on some other things, but when it comes to these different debates that she was having with them, she was on point with what she was saying. And that's what we got to remember when we are teaching the truth. It doesn't matter what anybody in the opposition is saying. As long as we speak in the truth, we will remain undefeated. And so I could imagine if I don't know if she's an Israelite. I think she is an Israelite. I think she's from the Caribbean or something like that. She said her family was from the Caribbean, but she's still an Israelite from what I know right now. Well, what do you know about her, sis?
Well, yes, her mother is from the Caribbean, and her father is from.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, maybe Lord allow she might. I doubt it, but maybe she'll learn about the truth and come on lock in. You know what I mean? Because that's the spirit that we need to see, and she was able to use her knowledge and intellect in a positive way. It could help raise up and teach a lot of young women, young sisters to support our brothers and our sisters as well, because a lot of times they want to pin us together. And I've seen her do other things before that was questionable against the black man, but this time it's kind of like she was between a rock and a hard place, and she was around a bunch of coons, so she had to stand up for what was right, what was true, because it would have been ugly the other way. But here goes a video real quick. I'm gonna play this one from some of the clips I saw. Let's see.
Very convicted.
Put people into categories of caste, to put people into categories of oppression. Race is not something that you are. Race is something that was bestowed and put upon you.
That's racism, not race. Race is simply the aggregation.
Peace to the tribe. So Amanda is absolutely correct. Race is a social construct. And it's not.
Hold on. Let me go. That's not the one. I seen this guy. He looked like Trevor Noah. He's from Africa. And she kind of got on him because he was trying to basically say that, Black Americans are nothing but a bunch of excuses, and the reason why we're like this is because we're lazy, and you know what I mean. Let's see if I can find one good one. If not, see if I get any one of her.
Black culture is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the
white
black
culture
home. Let's
stop. We all deserve a right to exist, and I shouldn't have to earn my right to exist. And
these is all clips of it. I want to see one where she's sitting down with him and actually having a good discourse for a few seconds. Let's see what this one looks like. If not, I'll just skip it for time's sake. Not this one, not this one.
And how long are we going to sit here focusing on trying to get reparations? It's been how many years since slavery? 150 years, 1865? Whenever there's a real thing that this country wants to do, they do it.
Okay. Well, first I'll start with, it will help on even just a moral level. The reality is that the United States has become very comfortable with the fact that it does not consider Black people equal. And it shows that in many ways that I'm sure we will discuss over the course of today. But ultimately, there has not been a committed, concerted effort to shifting the mindset around the use of Black people as a labor force in this nation back when it was slavery, now in the use of slavery as slave labor in prisons. So on a basic cultural level, reparations are an act of repair. They are an effort to say, our bad, we see you now. We have seen that done with Japanese folks who were put in internment camps. We have seen that done with Jewish folks. We have seen that done even in the case of slave owners who received
So it started to list little facts on there too as she's going. And it said, can you see it? Oh, okay. I didn't know it was on your screen too. But one of them, it said that the Japanese got $20,000 a person. I think it said that.
And how long are we gonna sit here focusing on?
Said the Germans gave 90 billion to the Jewish people. You understand? It started to go off and talk about how money was given to the slave owners. Y'all heard about that? For losing slaves, losing their property. After slavery ended, they gave them a check. But we can't get a check. Go ahead, Doc.
So, okay, sir, they were literally saying that a lot of these insurance companies were created just so they can get the insurance money off of us. When they would throw us off of the boats when they were shipping us over here, they would literally get cash based off of the fact of they would literally get cash based off of any cargo that they were lost. So we was used as pretty much cargo or labeled as cargo. And they'll be like, well, I lost this much cargo. Right. I had insurance, and they'll pretty much throw us off the ship just to get the insurance money.
Damn, I didn't know that one. Get a brother hand for that. But it makes perfect sense. They was running the first insurance scam, right? Because we know our oppressor is the first of every type of criminal or the best at every type of crime. We barely running the little jewelry scams now. You get your insurance and then you get robbed. You know, these rappers that didn't collect the insurance on that damn chain. A lot of them was probably just trying to get bounce back or something. You know what I mean? Went party too hard at the strip club. All right, you can pay one of the homeboys to come rob you. Just make sure you pistol with me and brag about it on camera. You know what I mean? You over here thinking, oh, this rapper is a sucker. He got robbed. Nah, they running an insurance scam on you. People is getting into car accidents, and one of my homeboys, he was an Edomite I used to do some business with back in the day. He was like, yeah, me and my friends, when we get down bad on our money, we go ahead and run into each other with the cars. Call the insurance company. Your insurance gonna go up, but I'm gonna split the check with you from doing it. So we know that they've been doing these things, but doing that with a human life, the car is something you can just get another one of, but to throw a human away just to collect extra insurance money is super evil. But yeah, this thing I didn't see the end of it. For time's sake, I'm just gonna cut this video off. But it's definitely some good clips that sister had debating these cats on here. Hey, Shalom, Yabashim Yashai Barakatah, Chupa Matam Yad. Checking in from San Jose. Good to see you out. Shalom, Yabashim Yashai Barakatah to the sister rib of Trooper Aishayar. And Shalom, Yabashim Yashai. I say, slack it. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Atah, Bashim Yashai. To the sister, I need to wake up. I need my coffee. And Shalom, Yabashim Yashai Barakatah to Yaragabar, Officer 1000 in the building. All right. Now let's get it. Let's get it. And your rib as well. Nayak, shalom to her as well. Good leadership, bad leadership. Go to Psalms 82, verse 2. Psalms 82 and verse 2.
Come on, come. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
How long will we judge? How long will ye judge unjustly?
Right. It's saying, how long will these people that are supposed to be leaders among our nation, these different cats from Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, to Elijah Muhammad, more recently, who was some of the leaders that we got in today's day? It's almost hard to even think. Just rappers, who do they give us as leaders? Sports players, LeBron James. You know what I mean? We don't even have anybody that we call Dr. Umar. I guess that's the biggest. He's the modern Martin Luther King. Maybe, and you know what's sad is we feel played if I was in the world like, damn, all we got is Dr. Umar, but really he's better than Martin Luther King at this point still. With all his faults and failures, he ain't been caught up knowing what Martin was doing. Martin just didn't have social media. Martin didn't have sliding in somebody's DMs. Martin didn't have a smartphone on his phone so we could really know who he was. He would have got exposed way sooner, way on a bigger scale in today's time period to where he makes Dr. Umar look like a solid brother. But yeah, as far as leadership right now amongst our people, we're starting to even see this faction grow of conservative brothers that are going in the way of Donald Trump, conservative sisters going in the way of these Republicans trying to find a way to fix our problems, but losing themselves in that as well. So I heard a wise saying. Somebody said, I don't go left, I don't go right, I go straight. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go to the left and think that these Democrats really care about black people. You don't want to go to the right and think these Republicans really care about black people. We need to find that straight and narrow path, which is following the Most High in Christ. You understand? But read it again.
Psalms chapter 82, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
How long will ye judge unjustly?
Right. They're not having righteous judgment in the things that they are ruling over and making decisions over. Read.
And accept the persons of the wicked.
Right. One of the biggest faults is the acceptance of the wicked. In the gain of power, you allow someone to do evil because of their money and position. They were taking bribery as judges over our nation, which is the downfall of your nation. If you got people that's in charge that can be bought out, that can be influenced, that have a price on them, then what do you really have? And you see, that's what's wrong with America today. Like, America is for sale. Everything is for sale in America. Nothing is genuine. So you can go and lobby a congressperson, pay them money, and then we're supposed to sit here and act like they're not doing what this company with the most money wants them to do. They literally said it was some laws they're trying to take away, these foods that are killing Americans. They're illegal in other countries. They're known to cause heart disease. They wanted to take away food stamps. I don't know if they did it yet. Your ability to buy junk food with food stamps. And the people that showed up to the committee to stop them from allowing people to buy fruit, not fruit, but buy junk food was the Heart Disease Association. The people that's supposed to be worrying about your heart came up and said, nah, let these niggas buy more junk food. Let them buy more soda. Let them buy more cookies and cakes and zoom zooms and wham whams, because they're not trying to get you healthy. They want to keep you sick, because who's paying them? The pharmaceutical companies. So all of them in cahoots, working in togetherness in order to destroy your life to enrich their pockets. So it's a price for these people to be in leadership, and the people are the ones that fall victim to it. It's no different what was happening back in ancient Israel. We had leaders, Samuel's sons were taking bribes and money as judges and weren't doing righteous judgment. And it was the downfall of our people. Keep reading.
Come on. It's verse 3. Defend the poor.
Do what?
Defend the poor.
A real leader is going to defend the poor, not take advantage of the poor, not throw them overboard so you can get insurance money, not try to put more, take advantage of the people that living in Section 8, take over the neighborhood, gentrify the neighborhood, send them out, bring crack from South America into the ghettos. They're not defending the poor, they're abusing the poor. They created a whole prison complex making money off of enslaving us, which is something that she was just talking about. We'd had slavery 150 years ago. We got slavery right now where people in jail working for free, making these companies millions of dollars. They victimizing the poor. The opposite of defending the poor is victimizing the poor. abusing the poor. A real leader is going to defend the poor. Read.
And fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Verse 4. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked.
Right. And keep going.
Verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Right. And read verse. This is a very famous precept when it comes to Egyptologists, the conscious community. They love this one. But when you really read it in the context of what's being talked about, it makes it make a whole lot more sense. Go ahead and read.
Verse 6. I have said, ye are gods.
Right.
And all of you are children of the Most High.
Right. So they take that one precept and use it to say the black man is God, the black woman is God, we're the earths, and you the moon and the crescent. And you understand? And I know everything. It's in my third eye, and I got a pineal gland and all this nonsense. This is not even what it's talking about, saying you are God like the Most High. It's saying that we are powers. We were put in this position on earth to be rulers and make righteous judgment. This is talking about judges and rulers on earth. And the Lord is saying that we were gods and children of the Most High. Verse 7.
Verse 7. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
Right. They skipped over that part conveniently. Even though you had this power, you're going to die like men because you're coming up against the Most High and how you're dealing with your people, dealing with these nations. Read.
Verse 8. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations.
Right. So this is calling on to the Most High to send real leaderships and judge the earth. This is our job as priests and prophets to go out and tell them where we have erred, where we have wrong, what we need to fix. And then the Lord is going to send a righteous judge, our king, to come and exact the punishments and exact the glory and the blessings to those that deserve it. Because his judgment is not based off of how rich you are. Any celebrity get arrested, they got some money, charges are getting dropped. Brother might be innocent as hell, has no money, he got to take a plea deal. He got a cop a plea, never did anything wrong, but instead of facing 10, 20, 30 years, they're just going to admit that or say that they're guilty and they never did anything. Whole time, a cat like P. Diddy is getting off with everything under the book. All right, let's drop that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 1:1. Let me start at verse. Go ahead. Well, you got it?
Deuteronomy 1:1.
Come.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel, and Laban, and Laban, and Hazorah, and there's a high. Verse 2. There are 11 days.
Hold on. No. Now drop down to verse 1. Verse 9. So like it.
Yep. It's verse 9. And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone.
Right. So Moses, when we came out of Egypt, they said it was about 600,000 men. Now you multiply that number by the women and children and elderly, it might have been upwards of 2-3 million people out there. You know what I mean? So this is a large group of people that he was in charge of as a leader. And these are the things that he had to do in order to be in charge. Keep going.
Verse 10. The Lord of your God hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven for a multitude. Verse 11. The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he hath promised you.
Right. Read verse 13.
Verse 13. Take ye wise, take you wise men and understanding, and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you.
Right. Those are the ones that should be leadership over our people. The wise men, understanding, the ones that are righteous. And how do we know this? Let's keep going. Drop down to verse 16.
Come. It's verse 16. And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him.
Right. And the stranger that is with him. If you from out of town, you coming from another city, you shouldn't change judgment just because y'all from the same area and this cat is an out-of-towner. In that movie, Paid in Full, at the end of the movie, you know the rules of the street, the code of the street, you're not supposed to snitch on anybody. At the end, Cameron, he said, or what was his name, Rico or something in the movie, Rich? No, it was Rico. He was like, man, I'm going to tell on these cats from D.C., but I ain't going to tell on nobody from Harlem. So when I leave, when I get out, my hood's still going to love me. Like, that's not how the rules work. You can't just change it up for your hometown. It's supposed to apply to everyone, because those brothers in D.C. are your brothers no different than the ones in Harlem. But our people, we so tribal, we will begin to look at our block, at our neighborhood as our entire world. You repping this block so hard, if you from across the street, everybody over there can die. You, your mama, all the kids, y'all been going to the same elementary school your whole goddamn life, but because you live on that side of the street, to hell with everyone. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. The guy in the movie, which is portrayed as Rico,
right?
He still ended up getting killed.
Right.
They still ended up shooting him. He ended up doing all of that time in jail.
Alpo.
Snitched on all those people named Alpo.
Yep.
Snitched on all of those people. Got out of jail. Got caught doing the same thing, which was selling drugs, which is heroin.
Damn.
And they still ended up killing him.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the Lord, he cannot escape. You know what I mean? Living that way. I don't know if he was still selling dope, whatever he was doing. Some people say it wasn't some old business that got up with him. Some people say it was random, but it definitely seemed like a hit to me. And it seemed like that things he had done before caught up to him. Either way, it caught up to him spiritually. There's no way escaping the things that he had done. But yeah, that's how we are. We will take any reason to separate ourselves and make distinguish us from our own people. So the Lord had to put these laws in to make sure that we have righteous judgment, no matter where a brother or sister's from. Read verse 17.
Come on. Verse 17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it.
Right. So this is Moses telling these brothers, don't be a respecter of persons. Because this cat got money, this one doesn't. You make the same judgment based on the situation, not on the person, how great or how small they are. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is the Most High. It's like you scared of what this person thinks, of what they're going to do, but you should fear the Lord and what he thinks and what he is going to do to you if you make a wrong judgment. All right. Now let's drop that. I got a few more precepts I'm getting close. Let me make sure my time is straight. But when it comes to this 20 verse 1, those cats right there are so willing to, how can I say this? Those cats are trying to be friends with Esau. In fact, give me that one. Though hand joining hand, is that Proverbs 21? It's a perfect precept for this. No. Proverbs 11. 21. Yeah, Proverbs 11 and 21. And then
it's Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
Right.
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
Right. So they think that they're going to give up on their people and tell on their people, go with these white conservatives, get them a white wife, live in the suburbs, and that's it and that's all. You're not going to escape being a nigga. You're not going to escape your people and your nation. You're not going to escape to the white heaven in America and then think that this is going to be your safe haven for you and your children and your next generations, because they are picking the losing side of the battle. We at the height of this kingdom, but this kingdom is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning thereafter. So it's like you're going to pick to stay in the Matrix in that movie. If you remember the Matrix, that dude said, I'm going to take this other pill, go back in the Matrix and live great and not worry about what is going on, the reality. I'm going to eat fake steak, but it's going to taste real. I'm going to be rich in the Matrix. They said, we're going to make you rich in the Matrix. All they got to do is upload money on your bank account. You're going to be in there a whole slave, but living deliciously. Go ahead. While your people are destroyed.
So he was eating that Beyond steak.
Man, beyond steak. But y'all know what the food was in the Matrix, right? Which shows you how much of a slave he was. Y'all remember what the food was in the real world? Go ahead, sis.
So would it be like oatmeal and like oats?
No, you talking about in the real world. What I mean is the people in the Matrix, what was that steak that he was eating in the Matrix? What was the food they were feeding? That one, people kind of missed that part a lot. Sorry, no sweat. You remember? That's one of my favorite movies, so I've been waiting to get it.
In the movie, he said that it was just his mind's being stimulated to think that it was steak, and it wasn't really steak.
Right, but they still had to eat. In order to survive, they needed to eat.
Inside of the Matrix or outside?
Outside of the Matrix. Your real human body was locked in the Matrix. Your brain is in a simulation, but you still need nourishment in order to survive. Okay, no sweat. For time's sake. They showed that they were basically liquefying other humans and dead people and feeding it to them. So in his mind, he was willing to go back to that, though. He knew the truth. He said, you know what? I'm still going to go back in here so I can have whores, I can have cars, I can have jewelry, even though I know this is a lie. That's symbolic about these rich and wealthy people that know the truth about what's going on with us. Like LeBron James knows what's happening. He knows the white man is the devil. You understand? He knows the white man is the devil. You mean to tell me out of all this time, they never heard of being Hebrew Israelites? To me, when I used to give them a reasonable doubt when I first came into the truth. Because the UPK, we very braggadocious. I don't know what the other word, like, we like flex, you know what I'm saying? Like, we feel like the whole world know us. And I was like, damn, sir, we are One West. And they did steal that from us. But it's like, damn, does everybody really know us? And did they really steal that from us? I'm hitting them with the Nyack. I'm young, like, I don't know. But what showed me was when Kanye West was going on in those rants, he started to say certain things. He was like, we are the Jews. They're Jewish. I'm like, damn. He said something else like, they don't make no music in their communities about sleeping with another man's wife, but they put that on us. And Jewish people may making money because they can't charge each other interest and all that. I'm like, damn, he kind of sound like what we teach. And I made a post in my mind early on watching this. I was like, at that time, Captain Zaryak was working with Wack 100 a lot. This is when he first started working with him. And then I saw in another interview that Wack 100 was managing Ray J. And Ray J was trying to get this tape from Kanye West because he had that sex tape with Kim Kardashian. So I'm like, that's 3 people over. Maybe it's not too crazy that he's starting to sound like Captain Zaryak when Wack 100 made a post like Captain Zaryak is a wise brother. He know what he's talking about. And then this person over here is 2 people away, or really Wack is 1 person away from Kanye West. Maybe it's not a coincidence. Next thing you know, Captain Zaryak interviews Kanye West. A few weeks later, a month later after I made that post, Captain Zaryak interviewed Kanye West through his connection with Wack 100. So, and when they started to talk about the truth, they cut the feed on Clubhouse and stopped the interview from going. But that's when I was like, well, damn, they do know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no coincidence. You know what I mean? Kyrie Irving, we've been doing this. Captain Zaryak is known. The UPK is known. The truth is known. These celebrities know about this stuff, but a lot of them are turning and going the other way and saying, you know what? I'll eat this steak, even though I know it comes from my people. I'm surviving off of their blood, sweat, and tears. These millions and billions of dollars, LeBron James get a check from Nike. He get a check from Amazon to be endorsed by them. He knows Amazon is the only way it's going to work is by enslaving the children of Israel. The only way they're able to give him this money is off of our blood, sweat, and tears. And that's how they enrich themselves. So they got to go home at night and think like, damn, I could say something about this, but I'm going to come down a notch. I'm going to lose I got to go back and live in the real world, not in the matrix. I'm going to have to eat the oatmeal and be poor. I'm going to have to live next to them. Now we can fight together with this knowledge I got and hopefully destroy the whole machine, and then we'll all be free. Or I can just take my own self and enrich myself. These are the things that it's talking about here. Though hand joined in hand, the wicked will not go unpunished. He might come back and all those gifts that the Lord gave him, he'll be born in another body with no legs his entire life because LeBron James chose to turn his back on his people. And he typically, I ain't gonna lie, LeBron does a lot of good things. I'm just using him as an example. Only the Lord can pass judgment on him. I don't know the brother personally. I don't know what he's doing, but he's an example of people that may know about this truth and don't fully commit to it because of the things that they'll know they'll lose in doing that. What's the precept for that? Go ahead, Nayak.
John 11, when the Pharisees, when Caiaphas said they're going to lose their seats in Rome.
Okay, like that one. That's one for it. That's on topic. What you got, Ak?
I was going to say the one that says he that loses his life, something like that.
Both is on topic. That's not quite the one where I say LeBron James trying to lose everything. It's easier for for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven. Because in order to do this work on that large scale, you ain't gonna be able to keep both. You see what they already did to Kanye, and he was just talking like a nigga in the truth for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? He was messing it all up. The 12 tribes of Judah. And he you know what the hell he said half the time, but he on a little bit and Jew this and Jew that. If he was literally sitting next to Commander Liana saying the things that we teach, going through Hebrew Academy, and then he got these billions of dollars, if they don't kill him, they're gonna try to take everything that he has. They're gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way because he cannot have $2 billion and give us 200 million. What's 10%? Give us 200 million. What could we do with that? We have a whole elementary school in damn near in 5 major cities right now, raising up little kids. They'll be in class. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. The white man is the devil. You can't teach 5-year-olds that. That's gonna disrupt the whole thing. They're like, damn, you were supposed to go to prison. You were supposed to be a whore. You were supposed to build up OnlyFans. You were supposed to celebrate Christmas and spend all your money on that. Our whole economy is based off of you niggas being destroyed. You spicks and savages being destroyed. If we take this away, then the table falls down. So it's those people have to choose. You know what I mean? You're either gonna be rich or you're gonna help. And majority of them gonna take those riches because they selfish and not spiritual. You know what I mean? But slug it. Let's drop that. Let's go to Proverbs 29:2. It's the other precept. Got a few more. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it to this situation. 40. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2.
Right.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn.
Right. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. So even though people feel like they're free and enjoying themselves, that's the real trick of the devil. That's the real lie of the devil. When it comes to the law, statutes, and commandments, we have so many rules on what you can't do. You shouldn't do this. Stop doing that. Can't eat this. You can't go here. To us, in the world, that feels like slavery. And that's a lot of a battle that we have coming into the truth. You feel like you're losing freedom when you have to submit and obey other men. And they're telling you, you can't do this. Don't wear that. Wear this. Don't go there and do that. The carnality of the world in you is oftentimes for a lot of brothers, different for others more, some more than others, will fight against that and be like, okay, I'm losing my freedom, right? A lot of times women will use that against another woman or a sister that's trying to follow her husband and follow her man. They'll say, you don't seem like the person we knew. You losing yourself. Like you need to maintain a separate identity from your husband. Like that is beneficial on moving as a family unit, not being on one accord, not letting him lead the household. Like where else do you do that? When you go to Taco Bell, they're like, put this hat on, put this shirt on, wear your hair like that. You know what I'm saying? It's okay when you go to the oppressor and he tells you, no one says that when you went to your job, you losing yourself. You all kind of friend. You don't even use words like that at home. Why are you talking like that, girl? Hello, welcome to so-and-so. How was your day? That's not you. It was that movie. That nigga don't act like that. I forgot what movie or what TV show. They was like, Was that I forget what that was. They were like, man, he don't act like that. That's not him. Oh, that was Mike Epps in his comedy episode. He was like, married men act differently around their friends than they are with their wives. He was like, when they with their wives, they're like, hey, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. How you been? It's been a long time. He said, when his life leaves, man, what is that? It's like, nigga, that nigga don't act like that when he that's not him. You know what I'm saying? But you going to work, you don't act like who you are. You become another person to get that check, to survive. You'll get on one accord with what they want you to do. But getting on one accord with your husband is a horrible, evil, and wicked thing. That's the same way when it comes to the truth, that we think being separated and doing our own thing is freedom. This is what America teaches you. You can be whoever you want, do whatever you want, and you are free. And if you follow the laws of God, you're not free. You become a slave. But the reality is, when you swap them out, your freedom leads to you being a slave. And you being a slave to the Most High leads to you being free. See what I'm saying? You free to get high. You free to want to be a drug dealer and look up to that. You free to be an LGBT. You free to do all those things, but you're now a slave to HIV/AIDS. You're a slave to buying the medication. You're a slave in the penitentiary because you were selling drugs. You're a slave to now you thought you was going to make it as an OnlyFans girl. You made a couple thousand, but you gave it all to Louis Vuitton and Gucci, and then you're a slave to them. You're not really free. And now you start following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You're not free to go here. You're not free to use this. You're not free to do that. But guess what? You're able to stay out of jail. You're able to keep your family. You're not going to get AIDS. Your people are going, your family's going to be better and rise up. That is the difference. So when the righteous, once again, being long-winded on that, but when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. The things that we think we want and we love about America is the reason why all these different people are destroyed. And the things that we're running away from that seem to take away from our freedom would actually have us rise up and be, number one nation. All right. Salaki, this is the last one. That's a good one on there too. Read verse 4. Jot down to verse 4.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 4. The king by judgment establisheth the land, but he that receiveth gifts overthroweth it.
Right. A righteous king using righteous judgment is going to build up the nation. But if you're receiving gifts and selling off the nation, you're going to overthrow and destroy the whole damn people. And that's why it's so spiritual to have leaders in the truth, because we give up so much of the world to serve our power that, how can I say it? Someone that is really right or righteous and a man of the Lord is not going to compromise. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they say, he that is given little will be given much, right? And he that can't handle a little won't be given anything at all, will have it taken away from him. Paraphrasing those things and the concepts. But if you think about it, the little thing is, hey, stop eating pork. Can you do that? Can you stop getting tattooed? Can you stop smoking weed? Can you stop, you understand, dealing with whores? You start stacking up those things that you won't do, and you're doing this on your own choice. It's a lot harder for Esau to come and purchase you because you have no vices. You have nothing. I stopped doing these things for the Lord in Christ. How the hell do you think I'm going to start doing them for some money, for some power, for some fame? That's not what moves me. And that's why I say a lot of these evil people that are in rulership, they don't have anything they say no to. They so used to saying yes to everything that it's easy to manipulate them and buy them and get them to do whatever they want. They can't stop saying no to shrimp, crab, and lobster. How much money does it cost to put you in a dress? See what I'm saying? You can't stop celebrating Christmas. How much money does it cost to have you in this orgy over here, do whatever? You know what I mean? You have no morals or no no resistance to control yourself. So this is the most powerful organization to be a part of, because being an Israelite is founded on what you don't do, and everything else is founded on what you will do. We not compromising. Them cats that joined Young Thug, Gunna, he told it took him 3 weeks. You watch the interview. I'm gonna close the class on this to talk about weak leadership. Well, I'm gonna play. Let me see if I can find a clip of Gunna 2 or 3 years ago talking about Young Thug. Gunna. Let me see if a clip comes up. Yeah, Gotti. I know I got one of Young Thug. Let's see. But it is interesting. Let me see. And that's that or a Cap. That's one of them. But I know I'll play one of Young Thug and how I talked about it, because I know they talk the same about each other. So I'm gonna follow his. He's being damn near the translator for Young Thug. That's that Georgia talk. But I don't know if y'all understood anything he said. No, y'all can't read the subtitle. But basically, he said he had a gambling problem. He used to gamble with this cat. I guess Gunna was cool with the cat. The cat died. He said, "Man, make sure you take care of him." Kind of like, yeah, I brought him under my wing. This is like my brother, my little brother. You know what I'm saying? I never heard of Gunna. Only place I heard of him was Young Thug. Sometimes on the song, they sound the same to me. I'm like, I don't know which one is which. But the cat was getting motion and became famous because of Young Thug. And I know at this time period, if you would have asked him in an interview, he would have said, yeah, that's my brother. I'd do anything for him. I'd die. I'd kill for him, whatever. Then police came. He turned all that over and said, yeah, this is a gang. He's the leader, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, so he can be free. Based on what I just said before that, why did Gunna want to get out of jail so much? Why wouldn't he stay solid for somebody he would have called his blood brother 30 days prior?
So he's probably never solid from the beginning.
Right. Okay. Let me just ask the question a little bit. We're going to close out. Like, you got us this? You might see what I'm saying.
Sir, I would say that he thought he would say he was his brother in good times and not in bad times.
Right. You on to it. What was the bad times? Like, why did he need to get out of jail is what I'm saying. You got it?
Is it because he's selfish?
There you go. You on to it. Like I said, remember what I was saying? The UPK is the best organization because of what? We can't be stopped because we are founded on what we don't do. The laws, statutes, and commandments stop us from doing anything. So it's hard for us to be bought out to go back into the matrix because we left it for free. You see what I'm saying? Gunna needed to get back to the matrix because of what? It's a few things. You can list them out, but it's simple. Go ahead.
Money?
I'll take it. There's another one.
Women.
There you go. And possibly men. You know what I'm saying? With these niggas. You know how Atlanta do. Well, I mean, he could have stayed in jail for men. That's probably, maybe he does like women. You know what I'm saying?
Drugs?
And there you go on drugs. Give ourselves a hand. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to get high. He can't say no to getting high. He can't stop getting high in the world. So when you go to jail, ain't no drugs in jail like that. Not comfortably how you want to use them. So he got to get out of jail. He'll turn his brother in because that demon on him needs to get high daily. He needs to get your syrup. You need to get your perks. You need to get your weed. You need to have your morning blunt. You need to be able to sleep with these women. You need to be able to make money. Like all those things that make him happy, the clothes, the jewelry. He like, damn, I love this nigga, but I love getting high more. And that's why the most important precept is love the Lord your God with all your might and all your soul, and love your brother as you love yourself. Gunna don't love himself. He gonna put dope in his own veins. He gonna snort powder in his own head. He gonna sleep with these whores and not worry about his own safety. So how in the hell can you love Young Thug and be honorable to him and loyal to him, and you lose all the things that make you happy? So people in the world, it's easy to manipulate them because they're easily bought because they sell themselves daily. You know what I mean? And the only true leadership, matter of fact, that's the last precept. Give me Deuteronomy 17 and 15. We'll close it out. It's 9 o'clock. That's why only true leadership can come from the Lord. You cannot lead the people if you do not follow the Lord.
It's like you said, Deuteronomy 17, 15.
Come.
This is the book of Deuteronomy.
Read verse 14.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me,
Right.
like as all the nations that are about me.
Right. Like we wanted to be like the other nations, so we wanted to put a king up over us. The Lord saw this coming before it even happened, before we got to the days of putting King Saul over us. He said, but when this happens, this is how you need to do if you're going to put a king over you. Go ahead and read.
Verse 15, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee,
Mm-hmm.
whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
Who got the most money? Is that what it says?
Who the Lord thy God shall choose.
Who got the most women in jewelry?
Who the Lord thy God shall choose.
Who's the tallest?
Who the Lord thy God shall choose.
Who's the most handsome?
Who the Lord thy God shall choose.
Man, that's how people choose leaders, man. They choose them over how they look, and how the women they got, the clothes they wearing, the jewelry they have, the drugs, with all these things. Cats do this every day into our own destruction. Go ahead.
It's like it. They look over David, King David.
Exactly. Because he said the Lord goes after, what is it? I ain't gonna pull that one. I'm gonna paraphrase it. What he says, he is looking towards, dang, I'm praying wrong. It's not the spirit of a brother, but yeah. He chose David. Damn, I'm gonna have to find it. Go ahead, you got it? What you think?
He's not looking at the outward appearance, but the inward man.
Inward man, yeah. So because of his heart. Alignment. But yeah, he didn't look at the outward appearance. He looked at the inward heart and the spirit of David, right? But King Saul, they said that he was taller, stood a foot above all the other people. So he was 6'5", athletic, and they looked at him as a leader based on his outward appearance and his charisma or his stature in the community. And we do that to this day. And that's how cats, you doing 25 to life because you looked up at your big homie because of the rims he had on his car, because of the jewelry he had. You following him straight into destruction, not because of the wisdom he has, but because of his outward appearance. And Donald Trump is nonetheless, these conservatives are looking how white people are living, and they saying, you know what? I'm going to follow the white conservatives to enrich myself and better myself because of the way they look. Go ahead.
So like this, sir, in that 1B20, one of the conservative women had said that. She was like, immigrants come over here all the time and they get to become doctors and lawyers and all these great things. Why can't black people do the same exact thing?
Right.
And she has stated that black people can do the same exact thing. We can, I'm just paraphrasing what she said. We can live in white neighborhoods. We can go do this. We can go do all of these things. But which the things that she was explaining was pretty much she wanted to be white.
Man.
She wanted to be close to whiteness as possible.
Right.
That's what she was trying.
Exactly. Like two things on that. That's heavy what the brother was saying. Like you want to be white and you think that's what the greatness is. And you're not you can have nice things without being white. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to become them in order to be better. But those are the only examples we see. So in comparing and contrasting the two, you confuse having knowledge with the way white culture has knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not a way to do math other than the way Yale does math or Princeton does math. But you can do math and you can still have flavor. Like I saw a black doctor. He was wearing Jordans and wearing regular outfits, moving around the South. I think he was from Louisiana originally, or he was living in Louisiana. But it's like, if you go into the community, these kids now can identify with you and say, oh, damn, I could be a doctor and be like a regular brother from the hood. Like, if it was up to me, I would love to see doctors roll to the hood with rims and whatever the hell niggas look up to as opposed to drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? That's what they took away from us with integration, because you were literally supposed to see that in your community. The wealthy people, they're supposed to be a neighborhood. In your hood, you go around over there, you go over there, that's where all the rich niggas live. But it's still here in our community. Over there on this side of town, it's the middle class. And over there is the lower class brothers. But we all see the people with the most money are the lawyers, the doctors, the engineers. They look just like me. They still dress like me. They eat at the same restaurants. We all have something in common. And we know that that's a way that I can live, as opposed to being when they left and integrated with white society, the only people we had to look up to was the criminals. You know what I mean? But yeah, read it again from the top.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
When thou art
verse 15. Verse 15. Yep.
Verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set a king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose, one from among thy brethren. Shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother.
Right. So not only does he have to be your people, but he also has to be someone that the Lord is with. And that is the difference between having good leadership and bad leadership. Because I said it in an example before. It was one dude, they called him the next Barack Obama. His name was Andrew Gillum or something from Florida. And they were putting him around to be the governor of Florida. And he's supposed to be the next one, maybe to run for president, to take Barack Obama's seat. And they talked about him like he's the second coming of Christ, because he's a black man that dressed nice and speaks well and is educated. A month or two after that, they found him in a hotel, passed out high on methamphetamine with a homosexual white man. You know what I'm saying? But they put him up like this is supposed to be the next king of niggas. But he is not with the Lord. So all those metrics they use don't make no sense, man. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm gonna go ahead and just close out the class. Say shalom. You know what I mean? To the brothers. Yahweh Shem Shabbat Thumb. Yahweh Shemar Thumb Bashem Yoshai to all the sisters out there. All right. No sweat, no sweat. All right, come up there.